realize that. And the crazy part behind all of it, Anna, as you know, the bigger the show gets, whenever you don't have any listeners and there's no bandwidth and there's no nothing,
they don't charge you that much.
It's nothing. It's free. Anyone
and you're just doing it yourself and just throwing it up. But then you're like, you get this good and like show notes and things and researchers and bookers and people to do the thing and pay the bandwidth and pay for the website. And then your website has to use more bandwidth. And it's crazy. Or you do like what I did 3 weeks ago and spill meat juices on your laptop.
Oh yeah.
And just because I was so excited to show everybody on YouTube with the hanger steak, and I'm like, using this external keyboard, and it's a hot mess. And so I was like, oh, that's a $1,500 computer that is pretty much down the drain because of podcasting.
Well, look, as you know, right in the middle,
gotta get a new computer all the time. But this computer, I was trying to record, and it was shorting out anyway before the meat juice. I feel like the meat juices was like, we're going to try to kill off your computer as best we can. But like stuff like that, where you have to buy all new equipment. I had to buy this mic. I already have that mic, but then I had to get this mic, and then I got to get the Rodecaster, and then I got to get the thing. And they're always like, you can start a podcast with not much equipment. But Vinnie, when you came to my house when we started the podcast, what equipment did we have?
Oh, you had your board, and we had 2 mics, and we put my mics up on a bunch of books.
We did use books. It wasn't like a nice setup, but you had a nice mic and a nice pop filter, and it was loaded into the thing.
Yeah. And, Bill came in and started cleaning them up.
Yeah.
And look,
hello, Bill. Bill costs money.
Since we started doing this podcast, we used your board originally. At some point, I remember you had to upgrade something on your board, big time. That's money.
Yeah, I think my board just shorted out. It was done after.
And then when I started, producing them on my end,
then you had to get the thing.
Then I had to get a thing.
But you've now had how many of those? You've had 2 or 3 plus a Rodecaster.
Well, that thing, eventually broke. There was another one that broke, the Zoom recorder. And then I got the board, and now I can do things like this.
Yeah, and this.
Yeah, and stuff I never use, or this whenever Anna tells a bad joke.
We're both doing crickets.
Yeah.
I don't know how to program those things.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we have.
All right, guys, settle down. Settle down.
Come on, really? No, come on.
I want to stop.
It just won't stop. Right? Oh, come on, guys. Really, it's not that funny. Okay. Listen to him. It just won't stop.
Is that like one really long loop? That's really long.
Yeah, it goes away and it comes back a little bit, like someone got the joke late. At any point, all of it, costs money. And people with really popular podcasts, you go, why did that show go away? And today I was talking to a woman, let's call her Kim, because that was her name. She was one of my phone calls today. And I always ask people, how did you find me? And she was like, I was into running, about 8 years ago, and you were on a running podcast, and I quit listening to them, started listening to you. I don't think that running podcast still goes on.
Running podcast.
But you know what I mean? It's like, some of these things that you think of, all the people that had really big shows and then they went away. And for a while, Fat Burning Man went away, and then he came back at some point. I think he's still back.
I just interviewed him for the Quit Sugar Summit. It was fun. I hadn't talked to him. Did you reach out to him, by the way? Do that. We'll talk off the air. Because he wants to talk to you about the movie on his thing.
I would love to go back on it, but I hate asking people, but.
Well, no, he wants you to, he wants to talk about it.
Great.
I can even do an email and get you guys looped back in, but still, it's like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of dedication. And it's a lot of like, first of all, you and I have brains that they don't shut off. Like, we constantly are finding content. We're never going to run out of people to talk to, content to talk about, just because as long as there's just BS lies being fed out there, we're going to have plenty to talk about. And then as long as there are unhealthy people in the world, you're going to have a message to send to them, and I'm going to have recipes for them to cook. So I don't think we're going to run out of juice. We might run out of steam, but we won't run out of creative
I don't know.
content.
I don't really look. If you would have told me we would be doing this 10 years down the road, I would be living in a different state. And this, I would have said, no, none of that sounds real. You know, I used to go to Anna's house on my motorcycle. That's how long ago we started this. I was still zooming around LA on a motorcycle to get to my clients, right? Because you can't, you know, in LA, you could go between traffic on a motorcycle, and you couldn't do the kind of business I was doing unless you could get through those freeways. And I was putting my life in danger every day. You know, over the course of time, I probably had 5, 6 motorcycles in LA. And sometimes I had 2. I would leave one here and one over there, and I would drive my car when I can and hop on the motorcycles. And my clients allowed me to do that. If you would have told me life would have changed like this, and I would be doing this from Virginia out in the middle of nowhere.
It's crazy to me. That's crazy to me too, because that's where I grew up. You are now where I grew up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and kind of love it here. You know, it's like,
oh, it's pretty great.
Love it here. I have lifelong friends now, and
that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are happy.
There's always my friend Bunny. I got a friend named Bunny. When you move to the South,
Bunny's the one you shoot the guns with?
Yeah. Yeah. We have that in common, and a lot of other stuff. But yeah, Bunny's a good guy. And like going over, I haven't seen Bunny much lately because we were in Europe, and then we're back here, and it's been cold, and you know we don't like to shoot when it's really, really cold. But I need to go visit Bunny.
You do need to go visit Bunny.
Yeah, he's a good guy. But
can I do some modeling for everybody at home? Because you know I'm a model, right?
Are you going to take your shirt off? That kind?
No, I'm not that kind of a model. I'm not an exotic model.
Could you take your shirt off?
No.
Please? Come on, just a little bit. No. Oh, man. All right, you can model.
Do you want me to do some modeling? I have to remove my headphones to be a model.
Such a party poo. Oh, okay.
And now you know what I'm talking about? Can you make it not about me being shirtless?
Yeah. You're going to take your shirt off? What did you say? Shirtless? Huh? Go on. I think I know what you're going to show me here because.
Do you want me to model the really nice thing?
Yeah.
That you want to tell people about, or do you want to continue along that other line of things?
I do. And I'm a little jealous that you have one before me. Like I do not have one.
You're the one who chose to move out of state 3 time zones away from where the things.
Lois sent one to you. And of course, because you're in California and she's in California. And by the way, we're using Lois as the model because she is also the designer.
And she also should be a model because she's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, she's hot. She's a smoke show. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to take the little sticker off the top.
No, leave the sticker. Leave the sticker. That's what all the kids do. They leave the sticker.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
They leave the sticker?
Leave the sticker so people can see the brand.
You don't have the sticker on yours.
No, but they want to see the brand of what you're doing.
That's a brand?
Yeah,
I can't read that.
It's $39.30.
Okay, I have to take off my headphones.
Okay, so she can't hear me anymore, folks. So
let me fix my hair.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now her hair looks really good. All right, there we go. She can't hear me because she has no.
Oh wait, do the applause.
Okay, when you put it on, you ready? Oh wait, I hit the wrong one. There we go. Yeah.
That's the sticker. That's removable. This is not. Isn't that cool looking?
Yeah. No, it really is.
So nice. It's so high quality.
Yeah. The brand. Show them the brand on the inside of the hat, Anna, if you don't mind taking it off. Show them it's in there. It's made by. It's New Era, right?
This thing, New Era.
New Era, and it's the style 3930. It's one of the most popular styles. I like that style. It's similar to the hat I have on right here.
That's the same brand as that one?
I think there's a different. No, this is Flex Fit. So it's a competing brand, but it's the same kind of style hat, and it looks great on you. And you always say you don't wear hats, but I got to tell you, you look good in that hat.
I feel like I do look good in this hat.
So you should buy, if you buy hats, buy New Era 3930s, and you look good. Now, the logo was done by Leona Yeager.
She designed it, and she sourced the hat, right?
She did. She
did everything. She did amazing.
All of the work. I did zero. All I said was, nah, try something else. Nah. I gave her like some very light instruction. I said, I want like a diamond shape. I want something that looks kind of like a diamond shape because it looks kind of vintagey. Put my NSNG on it, get the name of the podcast in there. And we went back and forth several times. And before you know it, the woman is a great graphic artist.
I know, isn't it good looking? And you're saying leave this on?
No, you take it off after this, but I wanted to leave it on for right now to show people what the hat is. Okay. Can you take it off and hold it up and show what the label says? Or there you go.
$39.30.
Yes, New Era hat. And it's a dark blue. It's kind
of
it's
unisex sizes, and I'm wearing the medium large because I have a very round noggin. Yeah. A lot of brains in here,
medium
guys.
Large is what I wear, so
but this fits Lauren too. Like it's a little, like it's snug on me and it's not loose on him either. Like it fits him well.
Yeah, have a big head. Hats, when you have these flex fit hats, they're hats you can wear all day. These are high quality. And look, anything with a logo on it like that kind of quality.
Hit it.
Anna, what would you pay for that hat? And I'll tell you what we have to charge for it because there's only a limited
This
amount.
is like saying, I don't know how much things cost. $40?
Okay, well, we're going to probably, like if you went to a Mets game and you got that hat, or you went to a Dodgers game and you got that hat with a logo on it, they would probably charge $38-40 for that.
How much are hats usually?
Like that? About $30-35, that quality with, that's embroidery and just the whole thing. That quality hat would go $30-35.
I would pay $40 and higher plus tax. Okay. And shipping and postage and handling. I'm
charging $25.
What?
25 plus shipping. It's not about me making, I'm not going to make money. Let me say this. As of this podcast, I don't think they're available yet for sale. They will be on VinnieTartaries.com shortly. They have to get to Debbie, and Debbie has to get set up. And then, you guys will be able to buy them off of VinnieTartaries.com. I'm not making money on these. I'm not losing money. I think with the shipping and handling, that just pays for that. And I think I make like $2 or $3 a hat because, folks, there's a limited number. I've said this before.
You should have made more.
I've said before, listen, let me be more than honest. If these sell out fairly quickly, I will do another limited run.
Okay, that's good.
But I'm not going to buy hundreds and hundreds of hats and having them sitting around. It's just not, I'm not into it. I'm just not going to do it.
I completely understand.
People have been asking for a really cool product. They want to wear the brand. As you know, we used to do a lot of t-shirts. We still have some t-shirts you could get. You'll see them at VinnieTartaries.com. People buy them here and there. I'm not sure where the money goes. I never see it. I think it all gets absorbed back into paying for the podcast.
Yeah.
But the hat is an easier thing because you could just...
If you go to your site, where will it be? Shop with Vinnie, NSNG store?
Yeah, I'm going to make it really easy, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram, and I'm going to put it on my Twitter. And folks, I'm telling you, they're going to sell out whenever you see it on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Realize that they will go quickly. Don't do the thing where you go, oh yeah, let me think about it. I'll buy it tomorrow. Get it when you see it, because right now, I'll tell you the number. There's only 50.
Well, there's 49.
Well, there's 43 because I have 2 coming to me. I sent 1 to billionaire Don Coddington. Leona kept a couple.
The rich people just get shit for free, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I must be a rich bitch then because I got my hat. My hat.
Yeah, you got a hat. Codd's got a hat. Leona's got a couple. I'm getting 2. So there will be like 43 hats to buy, period.
That's not a lot of hats.
No. That's what I'm saying. I didn't do this. This is not a moneymaker. People wanted a hat. And the reason I bought a limited number was to set it up and do the whole thing. It was very expensive. And if you want the hat, get it. There may not be a second run.
Right.
Well, that's all I'm going to say. If people buy them really fast, I'll go, okay, I'll keep them at $25. People seem to like this product at $25.
Vinnie, I don't think you understand the concept of a drop. You're supposed to be charging a lot more.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm charging.
I'm just saying. If you were a fashion mogul, you would be just the fashion part and not the mogul because you're not charging enough.
Well, I'm not looking to make money on these. I just want, people like to wear them on Twitter. People like Davey, Davey Robertson and those guys. They like to wear the product. I'm sure someone like Chris Robinson's going to want it. I'm sure like Scott King's going to want one. We're going to send one.
You should name 43 people by name, and then if they don't order it, then we'll shame them in 2 weeks.
Let me see. All right, so Leona already has one.
Foxy Hoxie needs it.
Yeah. Foxy, she's got to get one.
You got to have Dave Rossback.
Yeah, because he's going to get one because Davey's going to get one. So
right, so they got to be twins. Yeah, and then we got to Kurt Leopard needs one.
Oh, Kurt Leopard is going to have he
might buy a couple because he'll have one for the bar and then one for home.
Yeah, one to sweat in. I think a lot of people are going to do because I do 2 hats. Like if I have a hat I like the Saints hat, I'll buy 2, one to sweat in and one to wear as the hero.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, because I damage hats. They get all cruddy and everything, and they go in the wash.
You're a sweaty boy.
Yeah, I'm always sweating and I always have a hat on because I have a little bubble problem.
Who else needs one?
Let me go through the list here.
Bob Zimmer, the shirtless chef.
Oh, Bob Zimmer needs one for each
group.
Oh, you know what? Terry Lazaro. He'll need.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How can he go without a hat?
How about Mike? There's a bunch of Mikes.
Oh, you know what? Manny Villastrada.
Oh, yeah. He needs one. Lee Harrington, who was on last week, he needs one.
Yeah, Leo get one. He's going to have to get one. Who else? Oh, you know who's got to get one?
Who?
Robin Dobbins.
Robin Dobbins definitely needs one.
Yeah, she's got to have a hat.
And her husband, Matt. They have to have a 2-hat. They're a 2-hat family.
These hats are already gone. I've already. And
by the way, don't be mad if we didn't say your name.
Yeah.
If I was staring at the Facebook group, I would say everybody's name.
Nick Papa George.
Mark Thompson won't be able to get one because he's in New Zealand and he's going to be upset.
That's kind of upsetting.
He's not going to like that very much.
Yeah, that's going to be rough for him.
Jackie Jones needs one.
Jackie Jones. Yeah. I bet you Jackie Jones buys more than one. But you see, we've already named 10 people that's going to buy at least one, if not 2 for the hobby or whatever. So these things are already gone. I mentioned Scott King.
Craig Burnt.
You know what? Brent Budger will probably buy one.
Oh, Brent Budger definitely will. The Mikes. There's a bunch of Mikes. You know who you are. We love you, Mikes.
All the Mikes are going to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
There's a few Sean's. There's some Eric's. Eric Wolf.
Him. I mentioned Terry Lazaro, right? Yeah.
Bruce Akakio.
We're naming
who you are.
You know who you are. One, a guy who's a bigger fan of you than me.
Not possible.
Tommy Walker.
Oh yeah, Tommy Walker. Yeah, okay, that is possible. It's only because he's my dad is a professor at Auburn and he's an Auburn fan. I think that's why.
Oh, you know who's going to really need one, Anna?
Who?
Maybe 2.
Who?
I didn't even think of her. Auntie NSNG.
Ashley Penkall.
Yeah, she's been on the show a couple of times.
Yep, she's doing a giveaway right now. She's giving away copies of Eat Happy. So if you go follow her, you'll be entered into the giveaway. And I threw a couple in too. So make sure she's giving some away. I'm giving some away.
Yeah.
Why not?
God, I'm just looking at the list here, and there's a lot.
How about you said Davey Robeson, but how about David Robinson, my unremarkable brain? He needs this hat to cover his unremarkable brain.
Yeah, because it's unremarkable.
Yeah.
And by the way, folks, that's a great book. If you ever want to read a really good book, he's been on the podcast.
Anybody who's new to this show, go read My Unremarkable Brain, because especially if you have anybody in your family, or if you are doing this for brain health or epilepsy, the stuff the keto diet was originally medically appropriate for, and now it's medically appropriate for your ass.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Oh, speaking of which, there's another one with the seizures. Nifner, Jennifer.
Yep.
Yeah, out of Seattle. I don't know if she gives her whole name online.
Do you know Phyllis? Do you know Phyllis Udice and Tatiana Arbalou? They're
I'm going to say yes.
Beautiful. And they need hats. They would do the small ones because they're like.
I think we've named over 40 people right there because the NIF is going to probably get one for herself and her husband. That's 2 hats.
Yeah.
And she's a graphic designer, I think. So she's another graphic designer out there.
Kathy Pfeiffer. Oh, I know. Jeremy Lagasse or Lagasse.
Yeah.
Bridget Jones Neal, I'm talking to you.
You know, Sarah is going to get one too.
Sarah Markarian.
Yeah, he gave big to the movie. He always
he's going to get a hat.
Yeah,
maybe even 2 hats.
He his planes around and everything else. Sarah is going to get one.
Yeah.
These hats are gone, Anna. They're
gone.
You know, so folks, if you want them,
Katie Applegate, Miss Schmapsy Paps.
Yeah, you know what? If all of the people we just named gets one, I'm gonna have to do.
We're done. It's gone.
If I do a second run, it's gonna be just another 50. But folks, do not count on me doing that, because you got to realize anytime I do any of this stuff, the money has to come out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And no one likes to take money out of their pocket, not being sure if it's going to come back. So I might just go, fuck it. I've sold these 43 and that's it. And moving on, just moving on. So you never know with me. I might just move on and go, all right, it's now a classic product. Kind of like my book. You know, everyone keeps waiting for Monty to come out again. I keep talking about putting Monty out.
When's that happening?
I got to finish working on it. I'm 2/3 of the way through. And then the movie, you know, look, Anna, I'm one guy. And, you know, when you got to finish the movie and then go push the movie. Let me speak about the movie for a second here.
How is the movie doing? Beyond Impossible is the movie of which we speak.
Well, I was told that it was number 4 a couple of days ago on iTunes. So it's still kicking ass on iTunes.
Holy crap. That's awesome.
And I got an email on a Saturday night from Brendan Gallagher, the president of Gravitas Ventures, the guy that puts the movie out.
Yeah.
And his words to me was, because you don't see numbers on Amazon for a long time. Like, you never know where you're standing.
Right.
He said, your movie is absolutely killing it on Amazon. It's now the #1 movie we're selling on Amazon. And then right then and there, I went over and looked at the reviews and saw that we've been bombed with bad reviews from vegans, right? So folks, that tells you that reviews have nothing to do with what people are buying.
But hold on.
People who are not watching my movie are giving it 1 star. I don't know how they're doing that, because
so y'all need to go review the movie if you're listening.
Yeah, everyone needs to review the movie on Amazon and get your friends to buy it. And let's keep it up there to let these assholes know that you can't just go and do this. You can't just go and say, oh, I'm not going to watch the movie. I don't know how in the hell they do that, how they don't watch the movie. Because, you know, speaking of Robin Dobbins, she was like, I watched the movie. I can't even put a review up. They won't put my.
They censored her review.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've had people who have bought the movie tell me online, my review is still not up. Yet people who have never seen the movie are commenting and giving it 1 star. So, but guess what is not hurting the movie, because the movie's still #1 on Amazon, or #1 within.
I don't understand that. Like, I wouldn't listen. I watched, what's the movie with that guy who's just drove me nuts?
Don't know.
The guy, the vegan guy that I'm going to.
Chip.
Yes. Chip. What's that movie?
Well,
the guy who drove me nuts. You know who I'm talking about.
There was Forks Over Knives and What the Health. And,
no, fuck. What the health? What the health?
Yeah. Yeah. I was just out there, you know, looking like I woke up one day and I said, you know, I wonder what the best diet in the world is.
Yes. You're creeping me out. That's a really good Kip impersonation.
Someone said vegan. And I was like, what? What's this vegan?
But here's the thing.
You speak up. Kip, you had done another movie about vegan diets.
I didn't like that movie. I found all sorts of holes in it. You and I discussed it on the podcast, as is our right.
But really, you mean when they were calling?
But hold on. Despite all of that, I would never even give a shit enough. And consider the work that you and I do. This is our fucking life's work. Yeah. And I wouldn't go write a negative review on someone else's movie.
Same here, Anna.
I don't give a shit. #1. #2, go make your movie, do the things to the people. I'm allowed to talk about it whenever you don't have an opinion on it, but I don't want to write a 1-star review for your movie.
I'm not interested. I can't be bothered. And by the way, I don't even write good reviews about my movie. I can't, I won't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like Meatloaf. I won't do that.
Well, you would do anything for love, but you won't do that. So you won't write 1-star reviews
I will
for
not
vegan.
write a fake review for any product I have up there. Yet people will go and do that and just give it a 1-star. And it really, really, really drives me crazy. It really does. Because it's not fair, right? It's just not fair. And I'm telling you, Twitter,
the internet is not fair.
As soon as a better platform comes around, I'm moving. I'm moving. Twitter, you better look out because, I keep hearing about Getter and all this kind of stuff. I don't know what any of it is.
What's Getter?
Getter is supposed to be like Twitter, except they're not going to, shadow ban people and do all that crap. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I looked at Parler. I gave Parler a real look, but then before I could, do anything, it got banned by Google and everything else. And so I'm not going to jump on anything right away. And I know some people are going, oh, this is political and that's political. At this point, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of my message being squashed. Right. And
me too. A
lot of people are tired. I saw the other day, love him or hate him, Joe Rogan, somebody from the government, I saw this on Twitter today saying, they should censor Joe Rogan on Spotify. And I'm sitting there going, really?
What?
Has anyone heard of the fucking First Amendment rights that you are allowed to say what you want to say?
Oh, listen, do you know how upset I was at Neil Young?
Neil Young, but you know what? Neil Young can kiss my ass, number one.
I know, but I love his music. I've loved him for so many years. And then he goes and says something dumb like that. And it's the same thing as when we had a voice talent who was a vegan and he never communicated that with us. Right.
Right.
And so he was the voice of a gas station that sells food inside the mini mart. Right. And what's one of the things that they sell inside the mini mart, Vinny? I'll give you some guesses.
Okay. For a guy that never goes into the mini mart, but I've gone in and take a leak.
7-Eleven or a thing like they sell all kind of things in there.
They got like your M&Ms. You could get your moon pies. You could get your You could get
hot food. You can get nachos. You could get
peanut stuff,
soda pops and
soda. Yeah.
They have the Slurpees and the fountains, and they have hot dogs. They have hot dogs.
They have hot dogs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They have hot dogs.
Okay. So they have these things at the mini mart of this particular gas station chain. And we didn't know. And so he's voiced many ads for this gas station chain. Okay.
Right.
I had a suspicion that he was, but we never had the conversation. And I had emailed him asking him like, hey, what is your criteria with choosing scripts? Because everybody has a right to do or say what they want to do or take a job if they don't want to take a job. And instead, and he asked me for the script and I said, I've asked them a bunch of times. They haven't sent it. Well, he winds up going to the session and in the script, it says the word hot dog in the script. He will have to say the word hot dog.
Right.
And he walked off.
Really? He wouldn't say the word hot dog.
He would not say the word hot dog. And of course, the client calls Lauren and myself and is livid. So we have to pay for studio time.
Wow.
And then I called the guy and he's like, well, it's your fault because you didn't get the script. And I was like, hold on. If you have something that you don't want to do, you got to tell me. I had no idea that it was literally a moment where you would walk off the set or walk out of the studio. And then I was like, because this company, that they sell hot dogs regardless of if you say the word hot dog, right?
Right.
Like, do you know that? Like, it's a gas station company. Do you think selling hot dogs is the most egregious thing that happens with fossil fuels?
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah, that's why
this is the sword you're going to fall on.
Yeah, that's the problem you have is you can't say the word hot dog. And look, it's on him because if he had a problem. Look, I used to tell when I was with Irina Kamal, my modeling agency, I said, look, Irina, I will do beer ads because when you have abs, that's all you do.
Right.
But I said, I won't do cigarette ads.
Right.
That was back when they still had billboards and the whole thing. And she said, really, you're that, I went, look, I'm in the health and fitness profession. I can't have a picture out there for 10 years. That was my problem with it. I don't want to be.
I get that with print ads, because
then
print ads come back around.
They live. Look, I mean, that damn conch shell.
A radio commercial, it'll run for one cycle and you'll never hear it, and nobody would know it was him. It's with voiceover. I'm also like, it's not the job doesn't go away because you pass on. I get that, Vinny, and I respect that. And just like we have political clients and we have talent who will only voice for one side or the other. So I make sure I get that information ahead of time, because I obviously don't want to be, and like when the Trump campaign was looking for a black male voice, it was an interesting thing to go out to the talent and be like, who's going to do this? And one guy we have a ton of black talent. One guy's like, I'll do it. And I was like, good for you. Take the money, because you know what? They're going to give it to somebody. You take the money and you spend it on something great for your family. Like, why not? It's all. And by the way, I feel that way about all political campaigns. I was just illustrating that one because it might be a tougher sell in certain communities to get a voice for that particular.
Right. And I get that. But as I said, my problem wasn't with cigarettes, because as I've always said, I don't have a problem with cigarettes, because when you smoke a cigarette, by definition, you know it's bad for you.
Right. You're actively choosing to hurt yourself.
When you eat an Oreo cookie or a Toll House, or something, you know it's crap. When you're eating ice cream like Chunky Monkey with 20 different swirls in it or whatever, you know that is bad for you, right? But when you have Fruit Loops and they're telling you that this is part of a healthy diet
with 13 essential vitamins and minerals,
that's a lie. That's a lie, right? So back in my day, I went, you know what? I would do a cigarette ad. I won't do a cigarette ad, not because I have anything against cigarettes. I'm not doing it because I don't want to be the next Marlboro man on billboards. And then maybe I'll get one of my child fitness things on television. I'll go, oh, look at that hypocrite. Right. So that's why I wouldn't do it. Right.
By the way, that's totally fine. And you obviously communicated that with your representative so that they would make sure that you didn't show up for a gas station ad and you had to hold a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, look, I went up.
They would know exactly what it was to look for.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting thing, but I was also like, it's. And by the way, just so you guys know, I have almost no morals. Monsanto, bring it on. I'll narrate a thing. I will cash the check.
Anna is what we call a hua.
Yeah, I'm a hua.
A hua. Yeah.
Because I see it's like, it doesn't make a difference. If someone passes on something, the job doesn't go away. The job, so you might as well take the money and feed your family with it. That's how I feel.
Yeah, look, when you live in the world that we had to live in, you got to do what you got to do because you got to keep a roof over your head. And
and let me say this, people choose with their wallets. So if people are choosing to buy cigarettes, cigarette companies will continue to make advertisements. If people choose to buy grass-fed beef, then enough money will be had so that people will start doing ads for grass-fed beef. Everything is economically driven and you have to follow the money. So the moment that the Grass-Fed Beef Council has more money than McDonald's, we'll start to see more grass-fed beef ads. But until then, we're going to see a lot of McDonald's ads.
And by the way, if you're sitting there going, well, Vin, the person who chooses to smoke cigarettes. Okay. But what about all the secondhand smoke? Okay. Fuck you. Because if you're really worried about kids and secondhand smoke, let's go take the chocolate milk and the strawberry milk out of school. Let's stop calling pizza in school a vegetable. Let's stop putting seed oils in their food. Let's stop doing stuff that's really hurting these kids. Because I guarantee you they're not dying and they're not gaining 200 pounds by the time they hit their 10th birthday by cigarettes. They're not getting type 2 diabetes by the time they hit puberty because of cigarettes. It's because of the crap we have in school. All right?
Yeah.
So before you get on your high horse and go, well, what about secondhand? Fuck you. Fuck you. That's not what we're killing kids. We're killing them. That's the problem. We got to fix that problem first. I need a drink.
You do need a drink.
Swear to God, I need a drink. I'm turning into an alcoholic on the air. I've never, and if I had a glass right now, I'd go fill it up.
Do you remember when Dean Laurie was doing that show when we were first podcasting, and then they had they had like a storyline using McDonald's, and our audience got very upset?
I think I got a glass back there, Anna. I'm going to get it.
Are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to talk about Villa Cappelli while you do that.
I got to have a drink. I'm driving myself nuts today with this whole thing. I got to
Okay.
go have a drink.
Okay, great.
Talk about Villa Cappelli.
I know you guys are admiring this hat. And while you admire this hat that I'm wearing, may I urge you to go order the hat if it's available and also go to villacapelli.com. By the way, I texted Stephen Crutchfield because I was in Lassen's, which is one of the stores here in SoCal that sells Eat Happy Kitchen sauce. And I was looking at the different olive oils, and they actually had a nice olive oil for a 750 milliliter bottle of a nice brand that I know is 100% olive oil. It's not cut, but it's not a cheap one. It's not like a bad one. And it has, I think it's called Lucchini. Y'all probably know that brand. They have pretty big distribution. But the Lucchini olive oil 750 milliliter bottle is $32 at the grocery store. And as far as I can tell, at Villa Cappelli, I'm looking right now, the 750 milliliter bottle of Villa Cappelli is $28.99. And I told Steven, you need to raise your prices. And he has not raised his prices.
He's as dumb as we are. He's as dumb as me.
He is.
Raise your prices. You're giving it away.
I was at Lassen's, and there was an olive oil that actually is a decent olive oil. And it's not as good as Villa Cappelli, but it's a decent one. It's not cut, at least. But it's $32 for the same size. And his is $28.99. And I was like, you need to raise your price. A couple bucks. I know why he's not doing it, because he wants to make sure everybody can get it. But it's like, stuff is going up. Stuff's getting expensive. Anyway, before he does that, go and get your olive oil.
Yeah.
Use the discount code Vinnie, Vinnie. I use it every day in my cooking. In fact, here's what I'm going to make tonight, Vinnie. I almost set up the camera to do it, but then I got lazy. I'm going to take Villa Cappelli olive oil, and I'm going to take some onions, some red pepper, and some cauliflower rice, and I'm going to season it really well. And then I'm going to brown some ground beef, and I'm making a version of your chili just with a little extra vegetable in there. And I'm going to pour in a jar, because I have 10 jars sitting on the ground right here of Eat Happy Kitchen marinara. And it all starts with Villa Cappelli olive oil. I cook with it every day. Anything you need to saute, put it in there. Any salad dressing you need to make, and then I'm going to make a salad and use Villa Cappelli olive oil.
Oh, by the way, Anna,
my homemade Italian dressing recipe.
Can I tell you this? I made the triple protein crime, but I didn't put the eggs in.
So it was a double.
Go ahead, hang on. So this morning, here's what I do.
Oh boy.
I wake up, I heat up some of it, and then I made myself 2 over easies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I got the chili heated up there.
Yeah.
I laid the 2 over easies on top, delicately, because I didn't want to break the yolk.
Yeah.
And I put some Louisiana hot on that.
Okay.
I was going all Cajun.
Yeah.
And I sat there and ate the crap out of it.
You did a protein on protein arrabbiata.
Arrabbiata.
You did a Cajun arrabbiata.
So Anna, this is kind of weird.
That Makers?
I have Makers here. Makers Mark. One of my.
I don't see you as a bourbon guy.
I'm not, but I grabbed whatever I could.
Okay.
Over underneath my.
Let me finish this. Go to Villa Cappelli. Use the discount code Vinnie, Vinnie. You'll get 10% off your order each and every time. Support them. They're sponsors of the show, but it's also just the best friggin' olive oil on the planet.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
So Anna, I'm doing this all hobo style. I don't have a glass up here. I wasn't planning on having a drink. I have this cup.
You have your little enamel tin mug.
Yeah, it's like when Donnie and I are up in the mountains, this is what I have.
It remind you of mountain climbing with your bros.
I know it looks like I'm trying to hide my booze in a coffee cup so no one knows I'm drinking at work. I don't have a job.
Come clean, man.
I just live in my basement down here. And
we're going to stage an intervention.
And you're going to have to. Anna, I think I was talking about this in another podcast. I was like 9 hours behind on my aerobics. My New Year's resolution was to do. Right. And of course, because, I'll be mountain climbing and everything, I'm going to be way over 365, but I like to do at least an hour a day throughout the month. And of course, I have travel coming up. I saw Ketocon was just saying, hey, standing room only. Vinny's going to be on stage. You're going to be there in my booth, right?
Yeah, I got the booth next to yours.
So folks, we're going to have booth by booth. Anna's going to be, you're going to have samples, right?
I'm going to be sampling. I'm going to be doing cooking demos on stage.
Yeah. So
we're going to figure it out. When I do the cooking demos, I can't hand out the food for you guys to eat, but I can do the cooking demos and then take it to the booth and hand it out.
Yeah. So there you have it. Anna's going to be next to us. We're going to be serving coffee, pure Coffee Club coffee. Yes. We're going to be giving out vitamin samples. We're going to be giving out NSNG food samples. Yes. Anna's going to be giving out
I'll have the spices by then too.
Yeah, folks, you want to be at Ketocon. So when is it, Anna? Let me look. Because
July 8th, 9th, and 10th. I just talked to Robin today.
And it's going to be where? In
Austin.
in Texas again? See, I don't even know where
Texas.
I have to go to.
We're going to go to Franklin's and we're getting the brisket.
Yeah.
And don't write to me going, oh, Franklin's is overrated. Shut up.
Yeah, we're going to Franklin's.
I've never been to Austin. Let me have my Franklin's. Oh, let me have this moment.
You know who I might get to show up? He doesn't live far from it.
Who?
The guy that did my first movie with me, Peter Pardini.
Oh, good. Make Peter come.
Yeah, Pete. Peter may be there. I can't guarantee.
I think a lot of people are coming.
Peter's a very, very important filmmaker, and he might be busy. Cheers, Anna. And I have a little sip of
Cheers.
This. I'm
cheersing with water. I don't care if it's bad luck.
Don't say
pretend
cheers.
It's straight vodka.
Do not say cheersing.
Oh, no, I'm saying cheersing because you hate it. That's why I said it.
Oh God, I need another drink. Hang on.
This will make you even more upset. Can I read you this horrible article?
Oh God, do you have to?
Well, we haven't done too much fitness. We've just done, sometimes Vinnie and I need to talk about the insanity in the world to deal.
But sometimes we have to let people know what's going on. Can I just play some more meat? All right, go on.
No, don't play any more Meatloaf.
All right.
I have funny stories about him.
He would do anything for love, but he won't do that, Anna. He won't do that.
He won't.
All right. Give me.
Okay. Somebody sent this to me, and this is from the Mirror, which is like, isn't that like a tabloid rag in the UK?
Yeah.
Mirror. Okay. So that means that this is one of those things that can click back to something, right? But it winds up in the tabloid. The headline is, and by the way, then I found it all over my news feed. Drinking red wine can reduce risk of catching COVID, according to new research.
Oh, did I send you that one?
No, my friend Carrie sent it, and then you sent it. You said, and then it was all over my news feed. And I don't know if it's because you both sent it.
Okay.
It was okay. You guys, first of all, this headline is like, what? Stop trying to make wine medicine. Like, just stop.
Wine, right? Alcohol is never the answer. Wait, hang on. Let me get a sip of this.
Never the answer.
Never the answer, Anna.
Unless you just really need to tune out life. Am I right, Vinnie? Are we tuned out?
Not
Tapped in? Turned on?
I want to be so tuned out.
I want to be tuned out so badly. Yeah. I said to Lauren today, we went for a walk, and we're like, can we like schedule something where we have fun instead of just work all the time? Do you ever have that conversation with Serena?
Yeah. And then
we should do something where we have fun. What is that? What's fun?
Can I tell you this?
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Serena kind of had enough, and I kind of had enough, and I was working all day, and I never leave this room.
Yeah.
And I was just working and working. I did aerobics in here. I worked out in here. I did all my work. Andy was on the phone with me all day. I'm planning podcasts. I did podcasts. And Serena goes, I've had enough. I said, you know what, me too. We just went outside. We went about 20 miles away to the local mountain, and we just climbed up the mountain. It was freezing cold out. It was crisp. It was bright.
That's awesome.
I said, you know what? We just walked uphill for an hour. You got a nice sweat going on in the cold weather. And
to be fair, we did walk uphill for 30 minutes because we can walk out of our door and walk up hills. So we did do that, and we walked on horse easements, which were very hilly. So we did do that. But I agree. It's like, I was like, how do you have fun again? All I do is work.
Yeah. And look, it seems like this whole podcast, we've been complaining. And sometimes.
Have we? I don't think so.
No, but I went on a bad.
I'll show you complaining.
Yeah. I defended cigarettes over school food. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, listen, I said I would take any job, and I don't, which is not true either, but whatever. Can I read you this article?
Sure.
Drinking red wine I can't even read it like in my usual newsy read because this defeats me. Drinking red wine can reduce risk of catching COVID. By the way, just had COVID. Now, I haven't been drinking a lot of red wine lately, but I have in the past. There's nothing you can do when you get the COVID. You just get vaxxed and you hope for the best.
Oh, wait, I have a friend who's an alcoholic. If he gets COVID.
Maybe that's why he hasn't gotten COVID.
Well,
because COVID apparently is prevented by, does he drink red wine or does he drink straight liquor? Because they say straight liquor, it increases your chance.
No, he's an alcoholic that's been clean for like 15, 18 years.
Oh, well, then he's screwed because he's not going to.
If he gets COVID, he's got to make a choice.
Sobriety or his COVID.
Yeah. Can you see him at the next meeting? Hey, guys.
Yeah. I read an article in the Daily Mirror, so I had to drink. I had to break my sobriety.
I need to know how wine is going to save your life against COVID.
Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, several, quote, tips and tricks that have been labeled as cures to the virus have been brought up from time to time. Many of them have fortunately been debunked, but a recent study has claimed that one specific alcoholic drink could reduce the risk of catching COVID. The research was published in Frontiers in Nutrition, comes from the British database UK Biobank, which were analyzed at Shenzhen Kanying Hospital in China. Here's what you need to know about the research and what types of alcohol, if any, can actually protect you from catching COVID.
So wait, Anna, before you go on, COVID brought to you by China, cure brought to you by China? Because all I could tell so far is they gave us the COVID, then they gave us KN95 masks and said, here, wear this. And now here, drink our wine.
I will say, I did see a documentary recently on the wine market in China, because it would not cross my mind. I mean, to be fair, I have a snooty attitude towards wine, living in wine country now.
Yeah.
But I saw a documentary about the Chinese wine industry, and it's burgeoning. So maybe that's what's funding this whole thing. Who knows? So here's the study. A report boldly claimed that played protective effects against COVID. Across the 473,957 subjects that were used, 16,559 of whom tested positive for COVID. It then used a model to come to various conclusions on how different alcoholic drinks would affect your protection against COVID. Already right there, it feels like this has a lot of we're jumping to conclusions. We're jumping across chasms to conclusions.
All right, let me just say something that people can understand. Obviously, they're taking a lot of subjects. So this, by definition, this is not a double-blind study. This is an epidemiological study. I have a good friend here who is a professor and an MD who's an epidemiologist, and he would probably turn his nose up at what you've said so far. Epidemiologists would even look at this and go.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like an epidemiological study, like that nurses study that was remember that in the 90s, they did the nurses study.
Yeah. It's
over 15 years.
And by the way, we can't figure out anything else about COVID, right? We can't figure out.
No, literally, we know nothing, but we know about red wine. Really?
We know about Delta. We know about Omicron. We know that it's changing and this and that. And all of a sudden, in the middle of all of it, hey guys, red wine. Go on, Anna.
The model decided that whilst wine was good for decreasing the risk of COVID, some other alcoholic drinks were not. The study discovered that those who consume 5 or more glasses of red wine a week had a 17% lesser risk of catching the virus.
How can they even? Okay, how do they know to begin with? Because number one, what you would have to do is give these people 5 glasses of wine per week and expose them to the disease, or what?
No, they're just making assumptions.
17% is
because nobody would willingly do that,
right? Yeah, that so far this is not making sense at all. Not even keep going. I'm sorry.
Scientists believe that this reduced.
Hang on. Did they say anything about Maker's Mark?
No, I'm going to go ahead and say, because I'm an epidemiological doctor, scientist person. I'm not. That Maker's Mark cures everything.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm a representative for Maker's Mark. Please drink it.
Can I have some more?
Yeah.
Hey,
we encourage you.
Anna, can I tell you something?
Please drink responsibly.
I'm a little tipsy now. Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
You look sexy in that hat, baby.
Thanks.
Looking hot. Yeah.
Thanks. Ready?
Yeah,
scientists believe that this reduced risk might be because of the drink's high content of, here it goes, wait for it, polyphenol, which is known to help with the flu and other respiratory conditions. It's that whole resveratrol, polyphenol,
say, for the first time,
antioxidants.
I thought you were going to just say resveratrol because they always go to resveratrol, which is one of the polyphenols, if I remember right.
It's one of the alls.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, guys. I mean, you see, this is what happens. You know, I hate to sound like Donald Trump, but here goes fake news. This is fake news.
Here's the thing. Donald Trump didn't start the phrase fake news, though. He was great at co-opting it and making it his own.
Who do we attribute it to whenever you think of the term fake?
I mean, you do think of Donald Trump
whenever I hear the term fake news, I hear it in Donald Trump's voice.
I know.
Fake news. I can't even do Donald Trump. I can't do
that was Corolla.
You're doing I can only do
every impression you do is just Corolla. 2 other alcoholic drinks that were found to decrease COVID risk were white wine and champagne. Well, that's basically all the wines. So not rosé all day. Are we not doing that?
What about some Pinot? Can we
have red wine?
Pinot? Yeah, that's a red. So, but
you're good with all your red varietals. Enjoy.
Speaking of Corolla, he's got a wine called Brosé.
That's smart.
Calls it brose.
I have a recipe for keto pancakes called man cakes. So
yeah,
it's for men and also women. However, the report had some bad news of pint lovers. It revealed those who drank any amount of beer and cider were at a 28% higher risk of getting COVID, with anyone drinking 5 or more glasses of spirits each week also facing increased risk of infection, but they don't say a number. That's you, because you're drinking. Well, you've only had one.
I haven't even had. To be honest, for the audience, I didn't even have I'm fake drinking here. It's not even a sip. I can't get drink. I got too much work to do tonight. So drinking other alcohols will not help. It's only the phenols in the wine.
Mm-hmm.
Polyphenols. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
While some alcoholic beverages reduced COVID risk, the report warned against heavy drinking of any alcohol during the pandemic. That should actually be the headline of this whole thing.
No,
as those who consume alcohol
get it. You know, so it's the opposite.
I know, people wouldn't click it. People don't want to be told not to drink. Okay, so but let me is there any link I can click through to find out? The link which was published in Frontiers, I'm going to click through to Frontiers in Nutrition. I have not clicked through any of this stuff.
All right, so it's got to be connected to.
Okay, Frontiers in Nutrition is frontiersin.org, and it says at the top bar, it says nutritional epidemiology. So this is the objectives of the study were to evaluate the associations of status, amount, and frequency of alcohol consumption across different alcoholic beverages with coronavirus disease 2019, COVID-19 risk, and associated mortality.
All right.
Subjects who consumed alcohol double above the guidelines had a higher risk of COVID-19. Okay, again, that was the first sentence of the result. Consumption of red wine above or double above the guidelines played a protective effects against COVID-19. Consumption of beer and cider increased the COVID-19 risk regardless of the frequency and amount of alcohol intake. Low frequency of consumption in fortified wine within guidelines had a protective effect against COVID-19. I thought fortified wine was like a dessert wine.
I don't know what that is.
High frequency consumption of spirits within guidelines increased the COVID-19 risk, whereas the high frequency of consumption of white wine and champagne above the guidelines decreased the COVID-19 risk. This is all over the place.
Yeah.
Alcohol drinker status, frequency, amount, and subtypes of alcoholic beverages were not associated with COVID-19 associated mortality. That means they didn't go into granular detail. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yeah. I think you are. And it doesn't seem like any of it is real. It's just, it's a headline grabber. It's, hey, click on this. They're trying to get clicks. That's all. And I don't think anyone would look at that and go, hey, I need to drink more red wine or more wine in general to not get COVID. Best way to not get COVID, just don't go around other people.
So basically they had 400,000 people fill out a questionnaire, correct?
That's what they said.
And then they filled out the questionnaire and said, how, no, they did. It was 400,000, 473,000.
Oh, really?
16,000 of whom tested positive for COVID. So obviously that's a questionnaire.
Okay, hang on.
That's a questionnaire. They had people fill out a fucking
you see,
questionnaire.
I was at
it's not like they saw patients and studied them.
No. I was at 4,000. Now we're at 400,000.
473,000 people.
Okay.
In the study, and 16,000 of them tested positive for COVID. So what they did was like, what's your age? What's your nationality or your
complete bullshit.
Gender, your race, your whatever.
Like if I have my buddy Kosti here right now, the epidemiologist, he would say this is absolute bullshit.
Of course it is. And then they're like, how much do you drink a week? And by the way, how is that a study? Because like you said, people lie about how much they drink a week anyway.
Yeah. Well, people lie about everything. You know, when they fill out food surveys, they lie. They put down, they've done studies on that. Since it's all done, even that is done anonymously, these people will put down whatever they think you want to hear, and they will always look. Anna, whenever I'm doing 4 consults tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do 3 or 4 consults every day, sometimes 5. And the one thing is when they take me through their diet the first time, usually I'm getting a version that they want me to hear. And over the years, I've gotten better at it. I said, listen, I can only think like your liver if you're telling me everything.
Right.
Everything. And it still sometimes takes me a couple of laps because I'll say, is that everything you're eating in a day? And I'll say, Vin, I'll tell you exactly what I'm eating. No snacks? Oh, yeah, snacks. No dressing? Yeah, dressing. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. And then you got to remind them because and that's me knowing where to go find the hidden jewels, right? I've been doing this for 35, 40 years. I know where to find the jewels.
Right.
They don't know where the jewels are. They're eating the stuff and they don't know what they're eating. People unconsciously eat. There's no way you can do the study and make it worthwhile and make it a real thing. I'm sorry.
So you're saying for a really reliable methodology for this study, they would have to get people who drink a glass of wine 5 nights a week, which most people don't stop at 1.
Right.
But let's say you find the people who drink a glass of wine 5 nights a week.
Yeah, let's find those Mormons. Okay.
Or more.
Yeah.
And then expose them to coronavirus. And if they test positive, then is that like...
No, Anna, you're missing out.
I want to talk to your epidemiologist friend. I'm just really curious how they like...
I wonder if he would come on and tell us exactly how epidemiology works because...
Well, we're almost done with this show. Can you get him on? Can we talk to him next week?
I can, he's very academic and he might be shy about coming on. I don't know how shy he would be.
Can you talk to him and explain what the study is? And because maybe he'll say like, no, here's why it's great and correct.
Yeah, because
you guys are wrong. I don't know. It seems like bullshit to me, but I would like to hear from him.
The first question I would have for Kosti is, how can they come up with a study? I think the first thing he would say, and if he comes on, we can ask him. I think the first thing he might say is, well, you need time. COVID-19 has not been around for 10 years. It's been around for less than 2. I bet he would have trouble with the time, the scale of the time. And what did they do? When did they start this study? How long has it been around? I don't think, and why?
Well, and also too, it's like, what about the other actual known comorbidities of COVID-19? They didn't mention any of that stuff. Can you be obese and you're drinking wine and it's okay?
Yeah.
You need to be thin and drinking wine. Or you know what I mean? Like, what is it?
Age? Age. Look,
what are the ages?
We know that there are 2 things that matters with dying of COVID. Comorbidities, the biggest being morbidly obese. Number 2, people with age, a lot of age. Are younger people drinking wine? How was the study done? What was done? We don't know. We don't know where these 400,000 people came from. I'm going to see if I could get Kosti on.
I would love to talk because I just want to find out about something. And because here's why. I don't know anything. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know jack shit. All I know is that I'm used to reading news articles and I can get a vibe where I feel like, oh, this is one of those things where they're trying to get us to click through and trying to have an excuse to, drink more wine. And don't get me wrong, wine is a delightful, wonderful thing. But again, you can't have it all the time. And it's not preventing a disease. If you're drinking wine, you're unwinding. Just own it.
Yeah.
Just fucking own it. Don't sit there and go like, I gotta get my resveratrol.
Or be like me.
Antioxidants.
Just go straight for the rot gut. Yeah. All right. Anna, let's call it.
Let's call it. Was this a weird episode?
It might have been.
I blame Meatloaf.
Fucking Meatloaf died. Folks, Anna Vocino, wow, what she doesn't have going on. She's got Eat Happy Kitchen. That's where you can get the products. You can get the my favorite, the crema. You can get yourself the puttanesca. You get yourself the marinara. Don't even try to get the pumpkin. I'm the only guy with one pumpkin left. That's right. I got the one pumpkin left, or as I like to say, pumpkin. That's it. Next year, it's kind of like the hats. Next year, she might do it again. She might not. You don't know. But next year, she might do it again in the fall.
We're doing a spicy arrabbiata. We're doing a spicy marinara next as our limited edition drop.
Anna, I got a feeling you're going to have a big customer right here. I love spicy marinara. I love the zest. I love the.
Well, here's the thing.
The burner that comes on.
I was kind of like, why do we need this? And then I made it and I made a chicken parm with it. And I was like, this needs to be the only thing I eat for the rest of my life. Like so good.
Can I admit to something right now?
Mm-hmm.
When I eat that kind of stuff, I feel stuff down below. I feel a little
in your nethers.
Yeah, I feel it coming on. I'm not kidding. It somehow tingles.
We should wrap this show up then.
Yeah, no, really, I do feel it. It's good stuff. So go check out Anna's stuff. It will give you an erection. If you're an old guy like me, it'll give you a half an erection.
Yeah.
And by the way, she's got the books, Eat Happy and Eat Happy Too. Don't get on a consult with me and go, hey, I'm doing all this. I don't know what to eat. Go get Eat Happy and Eat Happy Too. Go check out everything at annavocino.com. When it comes to me, you want to go to Amazon, but before you go to Amazon, go to vinnytoteries.com. Click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire and it gets my train down the track. We also have the Superfan page. You can go check that out. At the Superfan page, people give us a couple of bucks every month. Sometimes they give us one big lot of money. It all goes into paying for the show. Thank you guys for doing that. Let me